everyone, my name is Kay Kaltoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you a card made with the Coffee Cafe bundle, and it looks like this. This is what we're going to be making, and it says thanks a latte. On the inside you just have it blank so that you can write whatever message you wish, or you could attach a gift card to the inside, of course, to your favorite coffee shop. And so let's just take a quick look at the bundle. It includes the Coffee Cafe stamp set, which is a photopolymer stamp set so you can see clear through it to know exactly where you're stamping. And then it also includes the set of 13 framelits that are called the Coffee Cup Framelits. Now right now, 2017 through 2018 in our annual catalog, you can purchase this for 10% off as a bundle. This is the Coffee Break Designer Series paper, which looks like this, and it's one of my favorite papers. And then one of my favorite papers within this pack are all of these little coffee cup stains that you would get on a counter. Lord knows I have wiped up many a stain that looked exactly like that because I drink a lot of coffee. And so you could use this for coffee cards, or you could use it for masculine cards or fall cards, or really just about any time of year cards. I love this little heart motif on this particular one here. Now the colors are like things like pool party, garden green, crumb cake. There's a lot of good colors in here to mix and match with our wonderful set of colors that we have in Stampin' Up. But this card, as you can see, uses mostly early espresso, and then the soft suede is kind of pictured in here, and then you have your crumb cake, your garden green. I just love it. Great, great year-round colors. So we're going to start with a piece of crumb cake that's been cut to 5.5 by 8.5, and then I used my Simply Scored scoring tool, made a score mark down the center at 4 1/4, and then that makes it nice and easy for me to fold this card and use my bone folder to give that a nice press. And then we're just going to go ahead and finish off the inside panel. This is a piece of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4, and then I already attached a little bit of that Coffee Stain Designer Series paper at the bottom. That's a 1/2 inch by 4 inches, and we can go ahead and put this in our card with a little bit of snail. So I'm just going to run this across the top of that Whisper White panel and just insert this here on the inside panel of our card. Give that a nice press, kind of burnish it in good so it will stay put, and then we'll start working on our outside panel. Now if you'll notice the card, we do need to do a little punching here. We are going to use a punch that's called the Decorative Ribbon Punch. It looks just like this. It's one of our border punches in Stampin' Up, and we want it to be 4 inches long. So I have a 4-inch strip here. It doesn't really matter how wide it is. And we're just going to insert this right dead on in the middle. Give that a press, and then you can see that we have our start. And so then the next thing that we want to do is just bring it over a little bit to the right, and you can actually line it up perfectly because you can see exactly where to line it up. And then we'll do the same thing, bringing it a little over to the left, and again I can line that up perfectly. Those little scallops can be lined up perfectly. And then of course I go and do something like this, but it's because I'm on video. So I can still salvage this because all I have to do is push it in just a little bit more and make sure that I'm lined up real good. And then once I have that lined up, look at that. You can see just how easy it is to make a beautifully scalloped border. Now let me show you another reason I like this punch so well. You'll notice that on one side it has little scallops, and then on the other side it has sort of like a lacy scallop look. So you can use whichever side that you want to use to accentuate your projects. Again, this is called the Decorative Ribbon Border Punch. So we're going to use the scallopy side here. And the way that I'm going to attach this is with a little bit of Scotch tape. So I'm going to grab the piece that I'm attaching it to, which is a 2 3/4 by 4 inch piece of our coffee cup stain paper. And I'm going to flip this over, and then I'm just going to set this scalloped ribbon border punch right here. And I'll just make sure that it's right even where I want it, and then I can just attach it with a little bit of Scotch tape on the back. And so I'm going to put a little bit there and then a little bit over here. Just make sure that I have that centered in real good. And so this is what the front looks like. Now we can go ahead and attach that to the front of our card. So I'm going to bring the card back in, and we're going to set this right here. So let me go ahead and add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to the back. And then we can just flip this over and put this right here on the front panel of our card. Kind of wiggle that into place so that everything is nice and even. There, that looks real good. So now the next thing we need to do is a little bit of stamping. So to do our stamping, I'm going to bring in a Stampin' mat from Stampin' Up, because with a photopolymer set, it's always nice to have a little bit of a cushion. And we're just going to stamp 2 images. So we're going to use Garden Green ink, and then we have our coffee cup image, which we will go ahead and stamp just on a piece of Whisper White paper. And then we have our Thanks a Latte. So we'll just go ahead and stamp that on a piece of Whisper White paper as well. So you can see how nice that looks. I'll bring it up to the camera. It's beautiful, beautiful. Now the next thing we're going to do is run that through the Big Shot machine, which I did in advance, along with a few other pieces of little scraps. So one of the scraps is just a piece of Whisper White here, and we're making the lid for our coffee cup. Another one is the little stick that goes in your coffee cup to keep it from leaking. That will go at the top. And then we have the Thanks a Latte, which looks like that. So we'll add that down there. And then we have our little coffee cup image. So we'll set that aside. And then we have a little coffee cup holder. So that has kind of a little corrugated look that you achieve right here with this die. So again, all of these dies are part of the Coffee Framelits die set. And so I'm just going to get this out of the way. So how did I set this up? I just put all this on a magnetic platform with a cut plate, and then when I ran it through the Big Shot machine, I made sure that I had another cut plate over the top as I ran it through. All right, so let's go ahead and start assembling this little coffee cup here. So we're just going to take that little corrugated piece, add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to the back, and we can just set this in right here on our cup. And I'm going to just keep bringing it down until that I see no more white edges, because we want it to look like it's fitting perfectly. And that looks good. Then I can also take a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. We'll add just a skinny little line here at the very top of the cup, and that's where we're going to put in our lid. So we're just going to set that in right here, just like that. And then our Thanks a Latte. Again, we're just going to add just the tiniest little bit of glue on the back here, and that will go right into that corrugated section. And now our cup is ready to get some dimensionals, so we can put it on the front of our card. Oh, and I almost forgot, we have this little tiny little piece right here. So we're going to put that on with a glue dot, and we're just going to set that in the center at the top of our cup. So be sure that you put the glue dot on the front side at the very bottom. Then you can just lay it down, and then you can just hoover your cup over exactly where you'd like that to be on your cup. Give it a press, and there you have that on. All right, so now we're going to add dimensionals to the back. All right, as you can see, I went ahead, I added 5 dimensionals. I just added one more here right where that little stopper goes on the top of the coffee cup, just to kind of help keep that in place. And then we're going to set this on top of a 3-inch square of our Coffee Break Designer Series paper. So we'll just set this right on like so. Very nice. And now we can go ahead and we'll layer this onto a piece of garden green paper that's been cut at 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. So let me go ahead and take some multi-purpose liquid glue to the back of this. And then we're going to set this in so that the top and the 2 sides are nice and even. So again, with the liquid glue, you're able to just kind of put that right where you want it. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some Stampin' Up! Classic Weave ribbon in crumb cake, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces, both of them about the same size, and one piece we're going to wrap around and attach with some Scotch tape. So let me grab my tape. And then with the other piece, we're going to do a tie on. So we have the first piece that's already attached with some Scotch tape. Then we take that second piece of ribbon and we're just going to do a little tie on here. So I'm just going to put this on and just tie that right on like so. And then we can go ahead and just trim that real nice and cute with our scissors. And now it's ready to go onto the front panel of our card. So again, we're going to use some dimensionals to pop that up a little bit. And as you can see, I've gone ahead, I've used 5 dimensionals, and now we can just go ahead and add this to the front panel of our card. So we're just going to set this in, make sure that the top and the 2 sides are about even, give that a little press, and our card is complete. So here's the final card and what it looks like, and of course the inside. So this is the one I've done for you on camera, and this is the one that I had done in advance. Thank you so much for being a part of Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you'd like to place a product order and get your very own bundle called Coffee Cafe, please see my website at www.stampingtoshare.com, and there's links there for you to place product orders. Have a great day. Bye-bye.